Yeah, the bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. The bar is 6 feet under. And we're not talking about the bar that law students have to take to be able to become lawyers. We're talking about the bar that decides who you have kids with. Okay? Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Another banger. Welcome back to my series called Girl Chat, where we come and we just chat about whatever's going on. But first of all, last year my hair looked a mess. This time, I'm gorgeous, aren't I? Yeah, no, my friends are annoyed by me. Okay? Guys, I can't even tell what it looks like because the background is black and the camera is so far away. But this is crochet. This crochet, yeah, it's not a sew-in. This crochet, no leave out. Okay, no leave out. I wake up feeling good. You see my bun? And here we are, a beauty. Anyways, let's get into today's video. So yes, the bar is in hell, guys. The bar is 6 feet under. So those of you that are still lost, when I say the bar, I'm talking about dating standards, okay? I'm talking about those standards that people create to kind of decide what's a good man and what's not a good man for them. Because I feel like we've become a society that's kind of jumbled that together, as in like a good guy looks like this. And if they don't look like this, then they're a bad guy automatically, right? Which is not healthy because we all have different things that we like and specific things that we don't like, right? Hence the standard, right? So before we get into this video, I want us to define what standards are, okay? So standards, defined by dictionary.cambridge.org, right, states that standards means a level of quality, right? They define standards as level of quality. And then they give you some examples. So we'll read through these examples so you understand what standards means, right? Or what standards means for this video today, okay? So, of a standard, this paper is not of an acceptable standard. Do it again. Below standard. This piece of work is below standard. Not up to standards. I'm afraid this meal is not up to standards. We have very high safety standards in this laboratory. Not everyone judges success by the same standards. Some people think happiness is more important than money. I don't know who those people are. Another example. Her technique became a standard against which all future methods were compared, right? So I got these examples from dictionary.cambridge.org if you guys want to go ahead and find your own resources. But I wanted to use them because I really like how they labeled it as a standard is a level of quality. So most places will have standards to make sure the business is following everything they need to follow to make sure everything is ethical, like things are clean, things are respect. Don't you think, like, look at the food industry. They have so many like pinpoints that they have to touch before they can even release food to the general public. Sanitize, like what is the shelf life, like all these different things that they'll pay for to make sure that it's up to standard. So now that we understand what standards mean, let's move forward. Like I said earlier, I feel like we're in a stage where everybody kind of wants the same thing. And of course, people want a guy that has money, that's tall, that's educated, that treats them well. And mind you, I'm listing these things, and these are just things that are popping into my head because maybe these are things that align with what I want to see in a significant other, right? So yeah, it's a common thing for people to talk about what they like in a guy, and then with influence, other people might start liking the same things, as in like, oh, they want a tall guy, they want a guy who has money. Like, think about all the different trends that happen on TikTok. Guys with dreads, right? Now everybody wanted dreads, right? Girls that were in the sundress, you know, flat stomach. That was the standard at some point, right? Like, even look at the BBL era, right? Like, a woman, a baddie looks like this. So everybody wants to achieve that look. So think of it in the context of like anything that people talk about, if they bring it to social media, there's going to bring attraction. And most of the time, if it's something that's lighthearted, most people will follow along. Even if it's something that's harsh, people will still follow along, right? So there's that concept of influence. Now, when it comes to dating, talk, or I don't, is that a thing? Date talk? I'm pretty sure there is, because there's water talk, there is mom talk, there is all different types of talks. Regardless, right? So there are so many different eras within TikTok when it comes to like dating and things like that, right? There was the era where it was like if he wanted to, he would, and we're still in that era. I feel like where people are saying like they're putting messages like it only takes 9 seconds for someone to reply back. Girl, he does not like you, you know? Or there are those standards of like, oh, like if he's not buying you dinner, if he's not paying for everything, like he's not for you. Like, oh, if he can go 3 hours without texting you back, he's not for you. Or if like, oh, if he cheats on you, you better make sure you've taken all his money. Could you rather not cry in a Toyota? You want to cry in a Corvette? Like, do you see how it's so saturated? And if you're online a lot, you really start to believe these things, which is what brings us to our first example. There's going to be 3 examples, and there's going to be different levels of where standards, we're kind of lost, right? So this first example is actually something that actually went recently viral, where a girl got pregnant by an inmate. Yeah. So if you have not heard about it, I'm going to give a slight summary. I might even insert a clip. But I'm trying to stay away from inserting clips and stuff, because the last girl chat, I had to delete a lot, like cut out a lot of clips because of copyright things. I want this to be a fun and chill environment. I want this to be like a fun video to film, because I'm just here talking to you guys and give you guys my opinion, and hopefully we can talk about it in the comments below. Okay. So the first example is this girl got pregnant by an inmate on their first link.
This is part 1 of how I got pregnant by an inmate that I met off TikTok on our first visit. This is just a disclaimer. I don't need anybody in the comments telling me that I'm stupid, telling me that I'm dumb. Like, we all make mistakes. We've all done something like this. It's life. It happens. So I want to say back in probably May of 2024, I was scrolling on TikTok and
on their first link, right? So everything I just named off of like, oh, you want to make sure, like, if he's not texting you on time, then he's not for you. If he's not paying for your stuff, he's not for you. If he's not giving you love and affection, he's not for you. Like, all these things can become, you know how sometimes, oh, there's so many things that you have to look out for that you just start to become complicit, right? I don't want to give this as an idea of why Miss Ma'am stepped so low. And the reason why I put step so low in quotations is because this, to me, is stepping low. But this is someone else might just be like, she just did it for the plot. Ain't nothing serious about this, right? But no, there is something serious about this, because now she's pregnant. Yeah, she's pregnant with child, which means there's going to be a child that's going to come into this world in this messy environment. So it's not for the plot, at least in my opinion. I think it was maybe someone who was overwhelmed by maybe other things in their life that they just wanted to find comfort in something. Because Miss Ma'am, I'll give you guys a summary of her and everything, right? From at least what I've seen. I also did not see it directly. I've seen people talk about it, and I've seen clips, right? So I didn't watch all her parts. But essentially, she met this guy on TikTok. I don't know when inmates started having TikTok, but yeah, she met this guy on TikTok who's a prisoner, right? So remember the standards of like, oh, he needs to buy you this, he needs to provide for that. This man doesn't even have his freedom. This man doesn't even have his freedom, but she was, oh, I want him so bad, you know? So yeah, she seen him on TikTok. They started chatting, right? They've been chatting over a period of time. And then they actually set up their first meeting. So in their first meeting, there was a situation that took place that needed them to like go elsewhere and hide. So while that stuff was going on, they go to the bathroom and start getting freaky. And then she's like,
and I'm like, where did you come at?
And he's like,
he was like, in you.
And now she's pregnant and she's coming to the internet saying like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Everybody's saying like, because she tried to bring up her religion, because everybody was like, you can't get an abortion. She was like, no, my religion doesn't follow that. So everybody in the comments was like, did your religion also not talk about like sleeping with someone on the first link? Not even that. Like, would that be considered a date? Like, hey, again, everybody to their own. Everybody has their own standards. They have their own upbringing or whatever, right? So it's like, she came to the internet and the internet ate her back, saying like, Miss Ma'am, you started talking to a man who's incarcerated. Not only did you start talking to him, you got so smitten, right, by him that you end up sleeping with him, right? And not only did you end up sleeping with him, no protection. Not only was there no protection, ejaculated inside your vagina. Now, there's a lot of steps to take to get to that point. There's a lot of steps. And I think that's why people are not giving her a lot of grace because, ma'am, there's a lot of steps that were taken. Even you getting in contact, you had to initiate that, right? This man cannot get in contact with you if you want. Yes, he has the calls or whatever, right? But like you took the initiative to go and engage with this person from jump, right? So this is where we go back to the standards. This girl, I don't know what her standards are or whatever. The reason why I say is in hell. Not only was she okay with like engaging in a romantic relationship with someone who's incarcerated, but to sleep with them unprotected, right? And then become pregnant and decides on keeping the child, right? And all of those things are fine. And I'm not here to say like you can't date people in prison, but let's be cautious, right? Let's be a little more cautious. In this economy right now, to raise children is so expensive, one thing, right? So not only you're about to become a single mother because she did not know how long he was going to be in prison for real. She thought he was going to be coming out within like a couple of months, but actually he's going to be there for a couple more years. So if this baby does go to full term and it's delivered healthy and everything, she would have to care for that child all on her own. Maybe she has supports and stuff, but she'll have to take care of that child all on her own. What do y'all think about this? Talk to me. Talk to me in the comments down below. What do y'all think? Do you guys think she could have, used her conscience a little more, right? Use her intuition, right? Or maybe the people around her for more guidance. Because I definitely feel like this situation could have been completely avoided, right? But hey, who am I? I'm not in her shoes. I don't know what she was going through during this time. This is all up to her. But this is the first example of how the bar is in hell. Okay? And mind you, this is to my standards, right? Because we all have our own opinions. Because someone dating someone in prison doesn't mean that's a red flag or anything like that for them. They could like genuinely they fall in love with them, whatever, right? So that's not anywhere for me to talk. But I'm just saying how crazy this situation is that you met someone online, they're a prisoner, you talk to them on a regular basis, y'all meet up, y'all sleep together, and you're pregnant off of the first link, right? And then now you're contemplating of keeping the child or not, and you want to bring religion into it. And then you are now realizing you don't have all the information and that the person you are starting a family with is not anyone that can be physically present to support you, right? This is a lot of stress on her. And I can't imagine being in her shoes. But yeah, the bar is in hell. Because remember the foundations when we were first talking is the level of quality. Standards is level of quality, right? To be able to complete a task. To have someone next to you who is able to support you, you are able to support them, you guys are able to build a foundation and create a wonderful family. This is not a good start. Incarceration, pregnancies, like this is not a good start to a healthy environment. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be really hard to create a healthy environment. Anyways, let's go to the next example. So in our last example, we talked about a woman who went to the lowest of the low, in my opinion, right? Of like getting with an inmate and becoming pregnant and now having to sustain a child and be able to like, take care of the child and everything. This is the infatuation of, I feel like this could talk to single syndrome, right? Nobody wants to be single. Everybody wants to be in a relationship, feel loved, all these different things, right? It could also play into that. But I just want to acknowledge that like the low of the low, this man is not even free, right? But what happens when the idea of your dream man is so powerful that you disregard red flags? Our next example is the Danish deception. You guys, now I am certain all of you guys are familiar with the Danish deception because it was a big thing. It's kind of dying down now, but when it was popular, it was popular. I was seeing it everywhere, and I was not gonna watch. Was it the 25 parts? Because I'm just like, this is too much. Nobody got the time for that, for real, right? So I watched a lot of people talk about it even before I started engaging with it. Because people were reacting to it on my timeline. Mind you, all this stuff never directly pops up on my For You page. It's always the people I follow or my For You page, people talking about the instances, right? So I first was hearing about it before I actually saw it. Even on YouTube, even transitioned to YouTube, where some of the people I followed also covered the Danish deception, which is where I learned about it. Because, YouTube is for longer form content where you get like a little more context to things, right? So after I watched it there, then I kind of started understanding. So yeah, let me give a summary, right? So Nigerian, right, is traveling, meets a white man, right? The white man's so attractive, she wants him bad, starts talking with him, learns he comes from money, so she's super excited, and is like, yes, I'll hop into a relationship with him right away, right? This is just go watch videos if you want the real explanation, but this is just a summary, right? So in this context, she wanted a man with this demographic so bad. A man who's white, a man who comes from a lot of money, because the guy promised her that, yeah, he comes from royalty. He comes from royalty, right? Just those three things, right? Him physically being what she wants, and then getting the concept of like he has a lot of money too. That combination is her dream man. So because it's her dream man, of course, she disregards everything else. Because how can this man come from money, but he's asking you for money? Quickly. How does he come from money and he's asking you for money? Right? The standards are in hell. Because if he was actually your dream guy, right, he would never be coming to you to ask for money, right? It would be more in the context, which she does explain in her story time, where if she didn't want to feel like she's using him for his money, she would pay for things. And that's how she tried to explain it. But when you think about the expenses and how this story really played along and all the different shenanigans that took place in the background, marrying a man and not telling your family about it, because he's your dream guy. He's tall, he's handsome, he comes from money. So of course, everything would be peaceful. I don't need to tell my family that I'm going to marry him. Whole time in the background, he's scamming your family. He's scamming your close friends and stuff like that. So it's like, regardless of who he actually is, because in her mind, he was already her dream guy, she disregarded everything. And that's what I mean when I say standards are in hell. Our first girl, not even free, but was like, I could do something there. Our second example, find a guy, it's promised all these things from the guy, and because the guy appears to present himself in the way that she wants the guy to look like and present and finance, disregards everything else. Because of course he has to be genuine. Disregards all actually confirming with his finances, like experiencing the life of what he has promised, right? And he did take her on trips, buy her things, but with us, what we learn later on, it's like, to what extent, like to what expense, to what sacrifice, right? Think of the hardship that guy caused your family. This situation, this traumatic experience from this guy will haunt her family for the, like when she finds another significant other, like the family's always going to remember this. And in African culture, she's never going to die this down. Her kids are going to know about this. But yeah, this is another example of how the bar is in hell. Because as soon as you find a guy that you think you want and present in the light that you need, easily manipulation can happen right there. Because you're already assuming, because they say this, that means they're who they are. Right? Yeah. I did a good job explaining that. And let's go to our third example. Now, the final example might ruffle some feathers. It could even be, honestly, a hot take. I'm not gonna lie. My third example is sprinkle era. Sprinkle era. So we have a woman going after inmates. We have a woman being manipulated by a guy because she is so infatuated by what he is and what he presents as that she disregards everything. Now we're at the stage where women are so tired of being mistreated, being not appreciated, just going through all the trials and tribulations, because we're emotional creatures. We're people who want to build a foundation, create a companionship of some form, right? This is what we're promised. And when you date someone and you really give your all to this person and they don't live up to the standards and disregard your feelings for specific situations that might have took place and all these things, it starts to build a negative vendetta against men in general. I'm certain you guys have seen oh, I hate men. Who are men? I can't believe we have to survive on this earth with men. It's like, hey. They are another half of us, right? They are another half of us, right? And I feel like I low-key started falling into the, oh, I hate men. Men ain't, like, they ain't nothing. Like, they can't support, like, they are all manipulators. They're all abusers. They will not treat you well. So might as well just take their money, right? Might as well just take their money. It doesn't matter what their personality, nothing like that is. Just take their money. And that's the sprinkle era, right? I had to check myself with the sprinkle era because I was in that bad. I was like, of course he gonna have money. Like, who don't want a man with money? Like, of course I want to live a lavish life, right? And oh, I thought my mic fell. And I don't, like, I honestly feel like that was a necessary cycle that I had to go through because of what I learned once I kind of like step away from the sprinkle era, right? Because I even bought her book. Let me show y'all proof. I literally bought her book because I was like, I need to know like how she thinking because she's spitting facts, like, oh, how to treat men, the mindset of a man, all those different things, right? So this is one of the books that she recommended. And when I say she, I mean the sprinkle lady. Y'all know who she is. So yeah, it's called Men Don't Love Women Like You, right? This is a book. And yes, I did read it. And when I read this, I felt like this is a book for women who have like had a really bad dating experience. A woman who's really given up on the fact that there's love out there. So instead of actually pursuing love, she'd rather just pursue someone who can financially support her, right? But getting an idea of the mindset of how men think, right? How men think. Because we gotta remember when things like this come out, it's not a reflection on all men, right? It's not a reflection on all men because it's just a specific type of guy, right? And when I was reading this and the levels, like, I felt like this was a fun read. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was funny because they talk to you, like, it's like the author is like talking to you directly, right? No, nothing held back. Like, everything just out in the open, talking to you verbatim, like nothing is special about you, all these different things. And I felt like this book, to me, I feel like the skills that we're trying to give me are skills I already have embedded into myself, right? Because although I was like following and like engaging with the sprinkle content era, like I still have my own standards in the concept that, like, yes, I would like a guy that has money, but I cannot have a man that disrespects me. I can't have a man that disregards me. I can't have a man that's not there, right? But hey, he just sent me $1,000 so I can go shopping. Like, to me, that's fun. Maybe for the first couple of months. But after that, I'm like, okay, now what? Like, now what? Where's the companionship? I need someone who I can confide in. I need someone who will support me. I need someone who respects me. I need someone I can rely on. I need someone who can motivate me. Like, these are the things I still seek for, even though I was engaging with the sprinkle era. But I feel like some women literally were like, I just want the money. Like, I don't care about blah, 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 right? And I feel like when I read this, I was like, this is not for me. I feel like this is for a woman who's been hurt and a woman who just needs a way out and get a win, essentially, right? So yeah, the sprinkle era, I feel like very, very toxic because now, remember how in the past when they would say like, oh, women were property, like when you marry your man or your husband, literally you change your last name, you're part of his, like, what is it? His properties and things like that. Why are, like, sprinkle is low-key giving that because you're going towards a man simply because of money, right? You'll be there. He'll show you off. He'll do all these different things, but that's primarily it. You're seeking a man that directly has money so that way you can gain from that alone and nothing else, right? And hey, live your best truth. Live the life you want to live. If that's the way you want to go, then go, girl. Nobody is stopping that. Get your bag, right? But to a context, I'm just thinking like the women that do get in these relationships, I'm just thinking like, think of yourself in 30 years. What is your life going to look like? Yes, you have the money and everything, but when you start getting older, hey, my frontal lobe has developed. But when you start getting older, you really start to see what the world is. And you really start appreciating what really matters and what doesn't matter, right? Money is a great thing to have. Money makes life easy. Money, to me, brings happiness, in my opinion, right? But money is not solely the thing. For me, money brings me happiness because I'm able to spend money on the people I love. I'm able to spend money on experiences. I'm able to, spend money on people and help people out with what they may need, right? I don't need money to get me a luxury bag, right? That's what I mean when I say things kind of change. You'll have all the luxury bags in your house, all the luxury shoes, but after that, what do you have, right? And I think that is where we need to start really having a conversation, because the bar is in hell, right? We've come from all the things of companionship. Because even if you do end up having a child with this person, yes, you guys will have a nanny, all those different things. But now this child has to navigate the world, right? And what are you going to teach this child? The money is the essence. Money is the essence of everything. Like, I don't think that's something I would personally want to do. And that's why I want to make this video to kind of just talk about how standards have really gone downhill, and just using current events that have happened on social media that have kind of influenced, I feel like, the standards. And let me end on a positive note, where a girl was actually talking positively about an experience she had with a guy. And mind you, this is such a raunchy story, because so essentially, let me give you guys all the context, because let's remember about the standards, the levels of quality. So the lady tells us about, she was telling us a story time of a link up. A link up is when people link up to have sex, right? So she's telling us about how, oh, she messes with this guy on and off. They're not really together. They just, they meet up for whenever, right? And she was just explaining of how great that experience is with him, that people in the comments went and found a man. And they said, when is my turn? When is it my turn?
Disclaimer, this is my page and I don't give a fuck. If you don't like these type of story times, get out my business. So, okay, so y'all, let me tell y'all how I just got put through the motherfucking mattress last night. So I got a little boo bae I've been seeing for like a year now, some shit. We met around Halloween 2024. So y'all, okay, boom. Oh my God, he's so motherfucking fine, y'all. Let me just describe this man. Tattoos from neck on down. He be in the gym, so body T, cunt, you feel me? Tall, about 6 foot, you know what I'm saying? Like a caramel light skin type of nigga. He not like super light.
So now we see that influence of social media, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, of how like people will put their opinions, their values and their life experiences online, and then the general public will engage with it in specific ways. For example, this situation with the lady talking about her link up and how great it came out. Like, now everybody wants that same link up with the same guy. And it's like, hey guys, hey, there's a lot more in this world than just a link, like, are we considering, is he like, cause even when she was telling us a story, she said, yeah, they're not anything special. Like, they just ever link to do what they need to do, right? And that was about it. And I think the guy even had a girlfriend or something like that. I don't even know, right? This is not my business. But I'm just showing you where we're at. In the past, you could have come online and tell this story. Everybody would have been like, what the hell? What are you talking about? But now, social media is an online diary. It's an online diary. And let me just tell you guys how I low-key got out of the mindset of the sprinkle era. And like the aspect of like, I hate men. Men ain't this. They're never gonna, like, I got out of that concept because I'm the oldest out of 8 kids. I have 1 sister. So I have 6 brothers, right? And out of all these 6 brothers, I don't see any of these tendencies that people talk about online. My brothers are respectful. My brothers are educated. My brothers are ambitious, right? My brothers provide for the family. Like, and they don't have to, but this is things that they do because of their upbringing, right? Their environment. That was the reminder I needed, that like people are just hurt online and they're expressing their feelings, right? And online, when it comes to negativity, people gravitate towards that way more than positivity. That's why often, even when you see like a successful couple, right? I put in quotations because you never know what's going on in the background. Whenever you see a couple and everybody now wants to be them, be like, oh, because he's respectful, he pays for this, she's so beautiful, all these different things. Now everybody wants that, like they're craving that, right? When in reality, what is for us will be for us, right? You may not have that billionaire husband, right? Maybe you'll get someone who has a decent paying job, who can provide for you and, can take you on trips here and there, but will show you the love and affection that you need. That's the disconnect that we need to get out of, because when you're online so much, you start to think that online is reality when it's not, right? Because yes, there are horrible men out there. There are horrible men out there, but it's not all of them. Because I have 6 brothers and none of them I could imagine ever doing any of the things that, you know, the toxic men do. Like, well, when you go on dates, this and that. Like, I could never imagine my brothers doing any of that. And that's the reassurance I needed to be like, these are the men that I grew up with, right? So I know them ins and out. I'm the oldest, right? So I know them verbatim. And now there are some things I might not know, but like, I could never imagine them being perceived in this manner automatically from just trying to pursue someone or just in general. So that's what helped me get out of the mindset of like, men don't love women like you. No, men can love women just like you. Men can love women and show them love and affection naturally without being pushed. It's just depending on who you're attracted to and who you're engaging with, right? But anyways, guys, that's the girl talk for today. That was a lot. I don't think this video is gonna be 15 minutes. This video might be a little longer, but I hope you guys really enjoyed the video because I feel like everything we touched on was in different contexts, right? I feel like we went from very extreme to very light and very relevant currently right now. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let's talk in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!